Hi Cait, Dismirgit, greetings from Salt Lake City. This is Father Paddy Carley, and in the interest of time, I thought I would just read a little statement. I've been a member of the Irish Society of Utah from the very beginning, and I think the very best thing we have ever done was to invite the people of Upper Church in County Tipperary to visit us for our St. Paddy's Day parties. Here in Utah, we are far from Ireland, but we love our Irish heritage, and you gave us an immersion in that heritage at its most authentic. You are really a refreshment for the Irish soul within us. We can never thank you enough and will never forget you. Our best wishes to Jim of the Mill. We remember with great affection the great Paddy Lacey, Eugene and Frank Short, Tom Moklet, Tom Joe Spillane, Tom and Kathleen Stapleton, and we wish you to bid them our very best. Thank you so much for all you've done for us.
Well, I think as far as the sister cities go, my great honor, the year that it was established here in '06, was to take a copy of the proclamation to the government house in Thurles and meet with all the members there. And many of them had been over here for our St. Patrick's Day. And, you know, I think bringing people over from Ireland and letting people know what goes on in Ireland is not only economically, but culturally, is some of the best things we can do in the Sister City project. And we've also tried many times, depending upon their schedule, would be to take them out to the International Peace Gardens. Take them on a tour out there where there is a garden for every country and show them the Irish one that has a beautiful big Celtic cross right in the center of it. It's gorgeous, and a lovely bench that you can sit on, and if you choose to meditate. But we have connected them with, usually when people have come over, we've made sure that our mayors know, not only our city mayor, but our county mayor, and given their time, we've been able to connect them together. As I was saying, one of the associations with the music and bringing over young people has been a delight to the people of Utah. And many of them have been part of the Ryan family that was in connection with Father Carley, that he instigated all of that. And I think it makes the Irish who are living here feel like that there's a real connection to the homeland.
Like most members of the Hibernian Society of Utah, I've always been fiercely proud about my Irish heritage. Both my parents are second-generation descendants of Irish-born parents, or of their parents. In my earliest memory of St. Patrick's Day is watching the parade on Fifth Avenue in New York City when I was 5 years old, and it was right across the street from St. Patrick's Cathedral. And I later moved to Utah, so it was a long time before I got to see another parade. And in fact, the next one I saw was actually the first St. Patrick's Day parade the Hibernian Society put on in the state of Utah. And each year after that, the Hibernian events and the St. Patrick's Day parade have been the highlight of my year. But I agree with Father Carley that probably the best thing the Hibernian Society has ever done was forming the sister city relationship with County Tipperary, and specifically the town of Thurles. Although there are a number of Irish born in the Hibernian Society, the beauty of that relationship and the connection that we have with the people from Thurles and Tipperary and Upper Church is that we no longer have to rely on stories that we've heard from our Irish-born members or our parents or our grandparents. We have a living tradition and a connection that's our very own, and I've always treasured that. In addition to gaining that connection, we made a lot of friends in the process, and we've had a grand time at different celebrations and gatherings when the visitors came over from Ireland. Since then, I've been fortunate enough to visit Ireland a number of times, and I always make it a point to stop in Thurles and Upper Church and try and say hello to some of the friends that we've made over the years. One last note that I'll add. I found rather ironic, and this was some years after we formed that sister city relationship, but it turns out that I have a relative, somewhat distant relative, a grand uncle, who fought in the Irish War of Independence, and he was later awarded a medal that was sent to him by Eamon de Valera, and when the medal was sent to him, he was living in Thurles at the time, and I found that quite interesting. So I hope you have a grand St. Patrick's Day celebration, and we appreciate the connection. Up tip.
The Sister City Project has allowed us to invite and host several dignitaries from Ireland over the years. Most recent was the ambassador from Ireland who came for the joining of the rails where the Union Pacific met the train coming from the west, whatever. And he was here and on the dais and presented to the public. And we've been very fortunate to have past President Mary Robinson visit us, and also a couple of the councils who are headquartered usually in San Francisco. We've been very fortunate to meet these people and share their perspective of the United States, actually. What I'm most involved in with the Hibernian Society is the Night of the Irish Poets. And that's a cultural event where we read either carefully selected poems or poems that the readers want to read, either one. And that has grown. I've been working with that project for about 15 years, and that has grown from an audience of perhaps 50 people to about 90 now on our best years. So we feel like we're really spreading some idea of the culture because we do advertise it to the public and invite the public to come in and be part of it. We've had a few people who have just come in and said, gee, I'd like to read something. It's always a challenge at the last moment, but it makes for an interesting evening. Often they're from Ireland itself, and they just found out about it. So I think that's what I can say about the Irish culture I've been involved with, and you know, we've done a number of other things, but I think the poetry of Ireland is something that reflects the country about as well as it can.